I'm back with one more lesson from grade 7th English, and today we are going to continue our topic from grammar. We are going to start a new topic from grammar. Lastly, the last video was from literature and we have completed the chapter and the poem. Now we are going to focus back on the grammar as a lot of chapters are remaining from your grammar. So today's chapter is very important and it is the most I feel important part of your grammar, of your language, because in the higher education also, whenever you will give any exam, competitive exam, this topic is really very important. Why? Because a lot of questions come from this section and you will be asked in majority of competitive exams these type of questions. Today we are going to do that only, and to tell you more about the topic, let me give you an example. Suppose your friend is not coming tomorrow to school, and your friend tells your friend tells your teacher that I will not come to school, and this thing you get to know and you are telling someone else. Okay, so what all this is, when your friend is telling to your teacher, you are hearing it and you are telling to someone else, we call it in Hindi, what? We call it gossiping or chugli. In formal language, in official terms, in proper language, it is called narration. I don't want to say that gossiping is narration, but they are quite similar. To make you understand better, I have taken the example of gossiping, but narration is a little different. It is not chugli, but narration is when you narrate some event, or incident that has happened. Okay, so what do you get it from this definition? You are explaining, you are narrating an incident that has taken place. So first thing that you notice is, firstly, there are speakers involved. When you are speaking something or when you are narrating something, it is called speech. Okay, this is a part of speech. Narration is also called narration. The way of narrating, there are two ways of narrating. One, direct, and second, indirect. This second, indirect, is called reported speech. Okay, when you are reporting some event, it is reported speech. So when you are telling about an incident, then it has happened. So second thing to take a note is that it is past. It is in past tense. Okay, because the incident has already happened and you are narrating it. So this is what narration is. Direct and indirect speech. One way of narrating incident, that directly I say that take an example. She says, I won't come to school. Okay, here you are telling the example that I have given you, gossiping, that your friend is not coming to school. Then she is telling to the teacher that I am not coming. So she says, I won't come to school. Okay, she is telling directly. Now I am narrating it. Okay, she says. When I am saying she says, that means I am telling about the second person. Okay, so I am narrating it. I am telling to my friend that she says that she won't come to school. Okay, one more way. This is the direct speech. One more way. She said that she won't come to school. Okay, so she said that. This the reporting verb. It is called the reporting verb, and this part is the reported speech. Reported speech. She said that she won't come to school. Okay, how it is indirect? Because here she, the pronoun, again she is there, that she won't. Here she says I won't come to school. That is direct way of talking. Okay, so this whole we will see entirely through your book also. So I will explain you the rules, I will explain you the entire definition, and then we are going to do the exercises. So let's continue with narration, direct and indirect speech, and let's clear all our doubts.
Okay, class. So now let us take a look at direct and indirect speech narration from your book. There are two ways by which we can express our views: direct and indirect speech. Okay, as I have told you that there are two ways of narrating something, of expressing our views. That is, one is direct, saying direct, and other is in indirect way. That is called indirect speech, as I have already explained earlier. So take a look at these sentences, you will understand better. Krishna said to me, I am the youngest child in my family. So it is direct speech. As I have given the example of, she says that I went to school. I am not going to school. So Krishna told me that he was the youngest child in his family. Now it is indirect. Why? As I have told you before also. See, in the first one, Krishna said to me, I am the youngest child. Okay, exactly what Krishna said, it is being told here. So that is direct way of communication. How? Krishna said to me, I am. Okay, so Krishna's exact word we are putting here. Now the second example, Krishna told me that he was. Okay, now we are indirect. We are saying that Krishna told me that he was, not I was. So it is indirect. In the first sentence, we have used the exact words of a speaker, Krishna, in inverted commas. So whenever the words are in inverted commas, that is not used, then it is direct way of communication, direct speech. It is direct speech. And the second one, see, in the second instance, we have removed the commas, inverted commas are removed, and we have joined the reported verb. Reported verb is, in the previous one, said, first sentence said, second sentence told. So the reported verb is joined with the reported speech. Reported speech is what that is there in the inverted commas. Okay, so we have joined the reported verb and reported speech with that by using that. Okay, now we will see some rules of assertive and interrogative sentences. Okay, how to change from direct to indirect speech. Okay, says to, say to, will to, and said to are the reporting verbs in assertive sentences. Okay, and that will be changed into says to will become tells. Okay, you have to remember one thing, that wherever s is used and to is used, it will again to will be removed and s will remain, and the verb will be different. Says will become tells, to will be removed. Says to will become tells, say to will become tell because s is not there, and said to will become told. Will say will become will tell. Okay, this is the first rule, and you have to remember it very in a very nice manner. You have to remember it so that you can frame the sentences easily. Now, said or said to in an interrogative sentence will be changed to asked. Okay, when a sentence is in interrogative form, in a question form, then it will become said, and said to will become asked. Both of them will become asked. Okay, if the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, if the reporting verb, the verb like said, and the verb is in the future or present tense like says or will say, then tense of the reported speech in assertive sentence will not be changed. Okay, the tense of the reported speech will not be changed. For example, we had earlier said to was there, so it was past tense, reporting verb was past tense, Krishna said to me. So in the indirect speech, when you will change it, it will become that he was. But if it would have been Krishna says to me, then it will remain says to will become tells. Krishna tells me that he is the youngest. Was will not be used. The reporting verb and reported speech will be joined by the conjunction that in an assertive sentence. Okay, in an assertive sentence, the reported speech will be joined with reported verb by using the conjunction that. I have told you earlier this thing also. In an interrogative sentence, the word if, whether is used to join reporting verb and reported speech. Okay, if the sentence is in interrogative form, then if or whether will be used to join the reporting verb and reported speech. If the reported speech is an assertive sentence, tells about a universal truth. Okay, like sun sets in the east, sun rises in the east and sets in the west, or oxygen, we take O2 and we release CO2. These are all universal facts. Okay, universal truth that can't be changed. Okay, then the tense of reported speech will not be changed. Okay, it will not be that Raman says that sun was set in the east. It will not be that way. In an interrogative sentence, the sentence of reported speech will be converted into a simple sentence. Okay, if the sentence is in interrogative form, the sentence of reported speech will be converted into a simple sentence. It will not remain in interrogative form. Now, the following chart includes sentences changed from direct to indirect speech. Okay, where the verb is in the past form, reporting verb is in the past tense. Then see how to change the sentence. He said, I live in Delhi. He said that he lived in Delhi. See, the reporting verb said was there. So when you will change it into indirect, then the reported speech will also have the past tense. How? Lived. He lived in Delhi. Mary said, I am baking a cake. Again, said is there. So Mary said that she was baking a cake. They said, we have seen this movie before. They said that they had seen. Okay, again the reported verb is said. So the reported speech of indirect indirect speech will also be in the past tense. How? They said that he had. They said that they had. Okay, he said, I went to Jaipur last week. He said that he had gone to Jaipur the previous week. Okay, she said, I'm going to Jaipur next week. She said that she was going to Jaipur the following week. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, reporting speech will also change in the indirect form in past tense. See, the things in inverted commas, they need not to be in present or past tense. That doesn't matter. The reporting verb. Okay, she said, she says. Okay, the difference you must know. They said we will give him some food. They said that they would give him some food. Okay, would. It is clear? Now see, changes in words. This become that. These become those. Today become that day. Tonight become that night. Now become then. Just ago become then. Yesterday becomes previous day. Here become there. Next day becomes the following day. Tomorrow becomes the next day. Last night becomes the previous night. So these are the changes that are there in the words. Okay, now changes in auxiliaries or modals. Okay, like could, can, may, all these are auxiliaries, you all know it well. So what are the changes? For can, she said, I can show you the magic today. She said that she could show him the magic that day. May, he said, I may go to the market today. He said that he might go to the market that day. Okay, sorry. So this table and the next table we are going to learn in the next part of this video. Again, we are going to revise direct and indirect speech. I am going to tell you the rules in a better manner. Till that time, what you have to do, you have to learn the rules of assertive and interrogative sentences. Okay, this you have to learn the rules of assertive and interrogative sentences. You have to write it in the fair notebook. Then you have to write these changes in words also in your fair notebook, and the exercises and other things we will do in the next part of the video. Okay, so till this time what you have to do, you have to do page number 91, the rules of assertive and interrogative sentences, and page number 92, changes in words. These two things you have to note down in your fair notebook, and the rest of the chapter we will cover in the next part of the video. Till that time, complete all your work and we will meet again with the next part of the video.